This is the warehouse I was at one time when a truck got hit by a train. He was leaving the property here, and at the time there was a big ass tree right there about where those boxes are. Actually no, probably where that brown patch is. There's a tree right there. In fact, I'm sure that's where it was. And so you couldn't see you couldn't see where traffic was coming from the right. And you actually had to sit on the tracks to see traffic from the right. And well, there was a train coming. He didn't get out of the way in time because there was a truck behind him, and he got nailed right in the trailer. He made it. He didn't get hurt. The trailer was destroyed. He was carrying a load of pallets. This is a hard one to get out of. It really is, because you got to take into account you cannot sit on these tracks. Let's see if I can get out here and go to the center lane. It's kind of a tricky exit right there. All right, we're clear. But yeah, that's kind of a bad little gig right there. Oh, shut up, you stupid seatbelt. Now I'm gonna go find a place to park because somebody dropped the ball when it came to making an appointment here. Talk about that in a minute. Oh, hey guys, what's going on? That video you just saw that I put on here. I'm down here at Ingalls in Black Mountain, North Carolina, and I've only been here a couple other times. It's been a long time since I've been down here, but the last time I was here, it's probably been 7 years, at least. Yeah, about 7 years. There was a truck pulling out. We got cut off a little bit there. Got a phone call, but anyways, I was saying, when you pull out, when you leave this place, there's two sets of railroad tracks you have to cross, as you saw in the clip. And at the time, there was a big tree right where that brown patch was in the grass, right before you got to the tracks to the right of the driveway. And a truck driver, well, first off, you cannot see when the tree was there. You can't see traffic that's coming from the right when you're leaving this place when that tree was there, because the tree it was massive. I mean, it was absolutely massive. And apparently I'd found this out during the time I was waiting to leave after the incident, that the Ingalls didn't own that tree. It was owned by, I don't know if it was owned by the railroad or who it was owned by, but they had asked to have it removed, and whoever owned the tree wanted $1 million to have it removed, because they just didn't want it removed. It was just their way of saying fuck off. Pardon the language. So the truck driver had to sit on the track so he could see traffic coming from the right. And right behind, like if you're sitting there on the tracks, the only way to back up is it's a really sharp turn to the driver's side, to the left. And so you can't even back off very fast, because you have to back off and turn at the same time. And in a big truck, it's not, you just can't do it that quick. So he, anyway, the train was coming and he couldn't move out of the way in time, and traffic wasn't letting him. Now that's what annoys me, though. As traffic that was coming from that direction could have easily seen or predicted the turn of events that were about to unfold, because they're running along the tracks, so they can tell there's a train coming, and oh look, there's a truck sitting on the tracks. So maybe traffic should have stopped a little bit and given space to the trucker so he could get off the tracks. But nobody thinks like that. Nobody thinks ahead. Well, nowadays you just got people pulling out cell phones and recording. Nobody does anything anymore. It's sad. But anyway, the truck got hit. He was carrying a load of pallets, wooden pallets. Trailer was cut in half. Just train went clean through the trailer. Yanked the truck. You know, I mean, it was like a rag doll. I mean, it was. I've never seen anything like it before. The train wasn't even going that fast. I assume the train saw it coming. The engineer saw it coming and did what he could to minimize his speed. But you know, it takes you know, for a fully loaded, full-length train, it takes something like a mile for it to come to a full stop. So, you know, that far exceeds our vision, our you know, length of vision. So we were sitting there for probably a good 2 hours while they cleaned up some of the mess and did the, you know, the police came and investigated everything, and the driver was okay, thankfully, in the truck, and obviously the locomotive engineer was okay. He wasn't phased. But yeah, it was pretty intense. But now that tree's gone, so I assume, just like everything else, it takes a I don't want to call it a tragedy because nobody lost their life, but a near tragedy before they finally decided to chop that bitch down. And so now you can actually see when you leave there. But anyway, it's not really the whole moral or the whole point of this video. This video is brought to you by poor dispatch planning. And I don't think it was even my dispatcher's fault. I don't think, you know, my dispatcher is basically the owner of the company. Small company, so the dispatcher is the owner. But anyway, she had told me 4 p.m. delivery down here. And I specified several times 4 p.m., not 4 a.m. She said, yep, 4 p.m. So got down here 3 hours before 4 p.m. So for those that can do math, it was 1 p.m. I check in. They said, oh, well, we stopped receiving at 11:30 a.m. and your appointment was at 4 a.m. Fantastic. So well, they told me that they never receive later than 11:30 a.m. weekdays. But today's Sunday, you know, so I thought maybe it had to do with the fact that it's a, you know, a Sunday. But they said they never receive later than 11 a.m. So called my boss, the boss lady, told her about it. She called Danon, and apparently she was doing a favor for Danon because this isn't a run she normally does. And so she was doing a favor for Danon, and so Danon's a direct customer with my boss. No brokerage, nothing, you know, no middleman, just my boss and Danon. So Danon made the appointment, and you know, they made the appointment, which is what I don't get either. So obviously they made the appointment for 4 a.m. But when she called Danon after I got here, they said, well, you know, but they always receive, but they have received before at 4 p.m. But somebody made the appointment at Danon for 4 a.m. So somebody knew. But mixed, you know, communications led to some downtime. So fortunately for me, I get paid salary instead of mileage. So I'm not technically losing any money. And I know a lot of people dog on salary because you don't have the potential to work harder and make more. But I make more than a lot of people that are on miles or hourly or, you know, whatever. You know, I mean, I'm on path to, you know, to rake in around 80 grand or so this year. And I say I'm on path. You know, you would think, well, if you're a salary, you can just figure it out, you know. Well, my actual salary, I'm $73,500 is what I make with my salary. But when I lump loads, or when there's a couple places you can go for lumping, and where she pays cash, and if she pays cash, you can choose to lump it yourself. And if you lump it yourself, you just keep the cash. And one of the places that we go to, which I was going quite a bit for a while, like a couple times a week sometimes. One time I went 3 times a week. Or one time I went 3 times in a week. You get $200 per, you know, lumping, you know, so I made $600 extra on that week just unloading my trailer, and it's easy. It's straight pull. It takes about 40 minutes to pull everything off the trailer, and then you just let them check it in, and then you leave. So it's an easy $200. But anyway, so that when you factor in all that stuff, then it comes up to you know, easily around 80 grand or maybe even more. So I'm not complaining too much because I'm getting, you know, I get paid enough to sit here, I guess, from time to time for mistakes to happen. But so we're gonna check in at about 3:30 in the morning, and that's when they start receiving again, about 3:30. So yeah, I got time on my hands to do nothing, sitting here on a side of the road. I don't even have a bathroom to use. I mean, I could go to a truck stop, but the nearest truck stop is 35 miles away, and just, I don't know, just don't know if it's even worth it. There's bushes, see? we're on a, well, you know, we're right on the side of the road. Got some tracks right there, but abandoned little garage shop thing right there. Yeah, so it's not too bad. I got food in the fridge, so I don't have to worry about, you know, not having anything to eat. So we're good. But yeah, it just kind of sucks. It happens though. It's trucking, and I got some plans ahead of me in the trucking world, so I don't want to say anything right now because I'm just starting to work on those plans. So it could be a while, but let's just say I'm, you know, tired of not having control of my own destiny, if you want to call it that, or my, you know, I want to have control of my own stuff. You know, I want to have control of my loads as much as I can. I want to have control of where I go. I want to have control. I just want to have more control. You know, I feel like a steering wheel holder, even though I work my ass off and I know the rules of the road, and you know, I'm not just merely a steering wheel holder. You know, I respect my job. I appreciate my job. I love my job. But I want something more. I'm all about improving myself every time. Like, I hate settling. I just do. I just hate to settle. So I might talk about that for another video. I'll save that for another time. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, I guess. I guess maybe eat some lunch. Watch some YouTube videos. And yeah, so we will do that. We'll see y'all later. Take care, be safe.